I want you to imagine eating plain bread all day, every day, and suddenly you decide to put jam on it. The taste is probably superb, although jam on bread is probably the most mediocre meal of all time. But because you're used to being fed tasteless, bland products, even the most mediocre might seem awesome. That's the case with the Predator movies. After the first two, the series declined so bad, one disaster after the other. The first movie was the manliest movie of all time. I remember growing a fucking beard 5 minutes into the movie even though I was 7. A perfect mixture of sci-fi, horror, survival, guns, and unapologetic macho testosterone that's been scientifically proven.
This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
It's also the only movie to capture the big fucking bang in 4K.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
I'm not the biggest fan of the second movie, but it was okay. But it also gave us this line.
A fucking alien.
Then we had this. And this. And this. And this. Last Friday we had this. On a scale from Predator to The Predator, where does Prey land? Let's dive in and find out. So the movie kicks off in 1719 by introducing us to Naru, a Comanche teenager who wants to prove she can hunt because, patriarchy, I guess? Well, you don't have to be an asshole, just say the reason. Well, don't blame it on me, the only explanation the movie provides is this.
Why do you want to hunt? Because you all think that I can't.
Anyway, the men of the tribe go on a hunt because one of them went missing after getting attacked by a cheaply done CGI mountain lion. So she follows them. They find the missing guy and Naru heals him with this magical orange herb. I wonder if this will be relevant later. So Naru starts seeing tracks bigger than the usual animals and her brother says she's a good tracker. You don't have to force things like this, just have some subtlety. That's the same subtlety the movie had, so shut up. Naru insists on being a third wheel and goes to hunt the mountain lion. Things go south, one of them gets killed, and she passes out. When she goes back to camp, she keeps saying that
there's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man.
But no one believes her. Don't tell me it's because she's a woman. I can neither confirm or deny, but you're welcome to guess. After failing miserably at hunting a mountain lion, now she wants to hunt this mysterious creature with the big mark. She goes with her dog to track it, and before you know it, she runs into a bear and fails to hunt it miserably again. And just right before the bear gets to her, the predator shows up and bench presses the bear, and she escapes and runs into her tribesmen who tell her she should come home, but she's like, no, I won't. One of them tries to hit her, but she beats the fucking living shit out of him, but he sucker punches her and they take her home. And before you know it, the predator shows up again and kills the agents of the patriarchy, and she runs away again. And before the predator kills her again, she runs into French soldiers, so they take her as a hostage. And they tell her that there's a hunter creature looking for the strongest beast. Whoa. How did the French know it was a hunter? Oh, I don't fucking know. But I'll bet he reached into his ass and pulled it out. Anyway, they use her and her brother as bait. But the predator kills the entire French platoon, kills her brother, and she escapes. Again. Now she wants revenge. And the stage is set for the finale. And what a finale it is. I really don't want to explain how farcical this sequence is, but bear with me. First of all, she hides her body temperature using the magical orange herb. Does that sound logical to you? I mean, what the fuck is this shit? Amica cream? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You might want to turn your thinking meat off for the rest. So, Predator kills French guy, Naru shoots Predator in the head and she steals its helmet. And what follows is one of the most ridiculous fight scenes in movie history. I'd like to remind you that Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger couldn't stand toe-to-toe with this creature. But nope, Naru is a strong female character. So she pulls him into quicksand and he forgets how his technology works and shoots himself in the head. She goes back with the spoils of war and they appoint her as the war chief. The little girl looks at her like, you inspire me. Because that's the whole point of this movie. That's it. That's the plot of Prey. Can I say something that's equally good and bad? This movie is better than what the trailer suggested it would be. The trailer had every red flag indicating that this was gonna be a mess. Because the bar has been set so low, that doesn't mean that this movie is a masterpiece. I mean, this movie is the jam on bread of all movies. A good concept that's been badly executed and black peppered with political messaging. A recipe that hangs between bad and mediocre. But before I start bitching, let's talk about the positives. First of all, the premise of the movie is excellent. Pitting the predator against a primitive tribe was a very cool idea that could have been a masterpiece had it been done right. The landscapes were gorgeous, and despite the ridiculousness of a few explanations, the movie at least makes the effort of setting a few things up instead of reaching into the asshole at the 11th hour. It's clear that there were good intentions behind this movie by the filmmakers, but this movie falls short on a lot of fronts. First of all, the movie is slow. Nothing of significance happens until we're like 50 minutes into the movie. The dialogue, absolute cheese. And it's weird that the Comanches sound like they're from LA, for God's sake. And apart from the dog, none of the actors can act to save their lives, man. Which makes the characters, and believe me, I'm using this word generously, a bunch of wood planks, cartoonish and extremely one-dimensional. That all the side characters could have been played by the same actor and no one would ever notice. And I did not care who Naru was or why is she doing things. We never find out why she's so hell-bent on hunting, or why her father left her the axe. The movie tries to say that she's a rebel, but she comes across as a selfish, narcissistic asshole who caused the death of her tribesmen and jealous of her brother. And since she failed miserably twice at hunting, she should have listened to her grandmother that they hunt to survive, not to play games. Unlike the Predator, which is by far the dumbest predator ever, who wipes out all of the armed French but can't take out Naru and her brother in hand-to-hand combat and forgets how his own technology works. But don't worry, our strong female character is here to show him how his technology works. Logically speaking, this movie doesn't make a shred of sense. Characters pull information out of thin air and a shit ton of plot conveniences. Protagonist should have died 5 minutes into the movie, but her plot armor is thick and strong. And finally, the black pepper of this jam and bread sandwich this movie is, you go girl! What a waste, man. This movie could have easily been the second best of the whole series. But that's what we get when Disney's in charge. On a scale from Predator to The Predator, this movie hangs around Predators. A wasted idea that everyone will forget in 3 weeks, and goes to show this franchise should have ended with the second movie. And if I were you, I'd just go watch the original and forget about the rest. But after all, what do I know? I'm just a schizophrenic taking a shit who occasionally snaps. Anytime.